Ladies and gentlemen, may I begin, Sarah? May I begin, Sarah?
Go for it, Scott. Welcome, everybody, to Market Insights. We are diving in with Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've shared this slide from John Burns now for a couple months, and I'm going to keep showing it. The four big influences in real estate: government, economy, technology, societal shifts. Ladies and gentlemen, all four of those are still at full tilt, having huge influence on our market. And how big is the influence? NAR published this report March 6th. The median existing home sale prices rose 15% in the 4 weeks ending in March 20th, as demand still outpaces supply. That's from NAR. That's a national report. 15% is staggering. Sarah? Okay. Just a quick touch point on build for rent. The biggest point here is that that category of home is new in the last 4 or 5 years, but the point is it's going up to as much as 51% of the built for rent communities in our database were done in the last 5 years. It's still new, and these people are buying land. Land is being consumed, and this type of product is being built. Sarah? We'll spend some time on some numbers, but just to give the Southwest, our corridor, Arizona, Nevada, California, currently has the largest amount of land being purchased for building built for rent single family homes. Sarah? Okay, this is last month, ladies and gentlemen. When it says top right March, that is March 1st. And what I want to point out here is total solds, third column from the bottom, total solds in all of the MLS was 7256, and total single families 4813. If we go to the next slide, Sarah, please, I want to stay focused on those two numbers. This would be starting April 1st. Total solds in the entire MLS went from in the 7,000, 7256 to 10,120 in the entire MLS. That is basically anybody. When we closed some business, our absorption rate amped up again this month, and that is a lot of homes. And then going from 4,800, almost 1,800 more homes, 1,600 more homes to 6,476 total sold single family units. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of business was done in the month of March in Maricopa County. Sarah, the graphs now will show what does that look like in terms of price. So the average list price, March of 22, 821,361. That's the average list with the mean at 488. Compare that to 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, that's basically a $50,000 increase in 1 year across the board. And that's just staggering. That's staggering growth. At the same time, our days on market are going down. We're selling faster and faster as we've gone from March of 2021 to March of 2022. Sarah? Here is the first. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to spend a few minutes on these next 5 or 6 slides. I just want to talk more about those four influences: the economy, societal shifts, and government. So ladies and gentlemen, when you woke up on April 1st, April Fool's Day, we had 3616 average listings. And if you look at the bottom left, sold to list ratio, if you look hard at the blue and the red lines, the over asking price average was over 102, and the median was over 101% of sold to list price. That is the market of the moment, effective the 1st. And when you slide out to the bottom right, you look at cost per square foot in a vertical graph. What does that look like? There's been a consistent. However, when you look at the April numbers, we're only up about $3 a square foot. From February to March, we were up about $8 a square foot. So let's go ahead and look at the very next slide. And I want you to focus, ladies and gentlemen, before she turns the page, on the line graphs. One more. No, stay right there. Stay right there. Sarah. So our absorption rate was 198.98, and we had 2 months or half a month of supply, 2 weeks supply across the board. That's what this graph illustrates. Now, the next slide is what I want to spend some time on, Sarah. We went up just a few days later to the 4th. We surged all the way up from 1.98 to 212% absorption rate in just 0.47 months of supply. We have less than 2 weeks supply in our market. Now, when you drive into home prices between 3 and 5, we have 0.34, 0.32 months of supply. We have we're moving our business very, very fast. Sarah? So I wanted to point out also what happened on the 4th. The interest rates are climbing. If you talk, I hope everybody out there listening to this is spending quality time with their lender partners and understanding what's happening to investment loans. If I'm buying a second home, if I'm buying investment properties, those frequently are a little bit higher percents. Those are looking like they're going to be in the high 4s, sometimes in the 5s, depending. High 4s for a 30-year fixed, and in the 5s for an investment property. But take a look at the bottom left graph, sold to list ratio, just as of the 4th, just 3 days, we pivoted, we turned. There's not quite as an aggressive punch. The effect of the war, inflation. I went ahead and did this for the 5th just to see if that was a fluke day. Sarah, if you'll go to the next graph. Here's what happened on the 5th. Even the average had leaned off at 100.2 and was no longer ascending, and the mean was coming closer to the 100% mark. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the best visual indicators that we have out there in terms of what's happening in the market. And then if you look at the bottom right graph, median and average sale price, those are starting to level. There's just that $3 difference between this month and an $8 growth of sale price, cost per square foot, the previous month. So we're going to watch this graph very closely for the balance of the month. And this time next month, there'll be a big story that's evolved in the 30 days, but you can see it changing right before our eyes as we speak. Sarah? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, overall, when you look at Maricopa County, holy cow, we are still up. Going March of this year back to March of last year, we're at up 28.6%. We're still growing at a high appreciation rate. That's the median sale price, cost per square foot. Listings are up to over 19%, and our days on market are all the way down to just 19. That's every single property in our MLS, just averaging 19 days on market. I talked to one of our previous agents the other day. She called and she goes, "Oh my God, what's happening? My house has been on the market 11 days and I've only had 15 showings and no offers." Well, there is a point where you still overprice the home, and there is just a hint of caution going on out there right this minute. Sarah? Okay, so by the numbers looking in here, couple key things. This is what I like to focus on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just Maricopa County, active listings at 3616 in the blue. That's the total number of homes that serves our metro. Phoenix at 1.8 million, 3.8, 4.2 million people in the metro. There's just 3,600 active listings. Sold listings 7193. Those are up 15% from the previous month. The good news is that in the sold listings in blue, 7193, that number is still smaller than new listings, 8739. Ladies and gentlemen, our absorption rate is now back up north of 200% for the month. We are still aggressively buying and selling homes. Now, this is currently a look back. And in the gray towards the bottom, month supply sold to list range, if you'll do me a favor and look under the 5 to 700 or the 700 to a million price point and look at February to March, you're seeing over STL sell to list going over 100 to 101 to 102 across the board. That is pressure in our market. The market is super competitive. That data right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a look back. So we're going to see if those graphs we talked about earlier start to trend that down a little bit. Sarah? This is just a great visual graph, everybody, of knowing that our average cost per square foot and our median sale cost per square foot is still ascending. And then looking at the listings and the average list price. For the beginning of April, we're currently averaging $354, up from $350 last month. And our median is at $294, up from $286 the previous month. That is our market of the moment, across the board, aggregated average together. Now, same type of graph, only this is what's under contract. And what I'd like to have you focus on in the green vertical bars, ladies and gentlemen, is we only had 3,500 active listings for the month. I don't think we ever hit 4,000 listings in the month. And yet we put under contract, far right in March, green vertical bar, over 9,000 homes under contract that month. How do we do that? Well, listings come in and they go under contract right away. There's more 10-day close, 20-day close transactions than I've ever seen, ever witnessed. And so things come in, they get under contract, and we're seeing post-possession be more common than it was 2 years ago. And that's giving the seller, should they need to contract, then go find another home, it's giving that stair-step process in order for the seller to get to their next location. Sarah? So I also wanted to look at sold listings, and in the bottom graph in the gray, average and median sell price, 294 versus 286 the previous quarter, median 276 versus 269. Ladies and gentlemen, bottom right, far right, 27 and 28% respectfully increase in prices. That is white hot market. Sarah? So also what I wanted to illustrate here, ladies and gentlemen, I don't normally bring this up every time, but cumulative days on market. We're down below a median of 19 days. Gone are the this house is gonna be on the market for 6 months or even 2 months. Budgeted in days and weeks. Okay, Sarah. And then also here at the point of this graph, which was on the first, both the original and the sale to final were over 102% of list price. Sarah? I don't always include this graph here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna make you work just a little bit here on this particular one, but this is talking about supply versus demand, our seasonality, and then our actives, our solds, and supply demand. So none of these are pegged at 0 or 100%. Part of that is just because there's truly not enough homes to be purchased of what the true demand is. But what I wanted to illustrate in the bottom left quadrant, month of supply, absorption rate, what does that mean? You know, well, here's what I'm trying. I wish this graph. But if you study from the left column where the green bar, which is month of supply, is above the absorption rate, we were cruising along for quite a long time with a fairly decent absorption rate. But it was about March of 2020 where we went below 1 month of supply. Now, when that first happened, ladies and gentlemen, that was fear. That was like, oh my God, this is hard. And just like when you're training for a marathon, we've been in that market for about 18 months now, give or take. And we're used to a very high absorption rate now. We've modified how we do business ever so slightly. Talk to your broker. But I also wanted to point out, when you look at that bottom left graph, and you notice that the black line, which shows absorption rate, started to climb again in October and continues to climb and become wider concerning the month of supply. That those two visual graphs are, and that is our market of the moment. We are still trying to build our way out of this situation, raise price, raise interest rates in order for those to even get remotely close to one another once again. Sarah? Wanted to point out here, ladies and gentlemen, statistics don't lie and liars use statistics. So here we are, March of 2022, and you can say on the 1st, we had 5 months of supply. That is the market of the moment, just 2 weeks. When you drop to the bottom of the graph and you're looking at April of 2021, that's basically a year ago. We were at 0.49 months of supply. We're basically a repeat of where we were a year ago, except our prices are up 29-ish% from where they were. And even with that significant increase, even with a little bit of increase in interest rates, we haven't slowed down yet. If you do a look back from today backwards, we haven't slowed down yet. Numbers hard for you, ladies and gentlemen, to look and see if there's even a slight pause in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Sarah? I wanted to give you a visual on this graph here, the active number of listings. So, ladies and gentlemen, from March of last year, we slowly dug out to 5,800 listings in October of last year. Then the folks took time off for Thanksgiving and Christmas. We kept our appetite for consuming homes very high, and we dipped all the way down to 3,261 in February of this year. And we've started a quick, slow climb out. We added an additional, basically 375 more homes active this month than we have this time last month. But also at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, our absorption rate has also accelerated from the 140 range back up north of 200%. Sarah? Illustrating here under contract, getting back up north of 11,000, 11,800. That's getting us up into the top 5 months in the last 2 years. That's really showing how hard everybody's working, the demand and understanding how to do business in this market. That's an illustration of that number of homes under contract. Sarah? Also with closed, we ended the month at 85, 88 in all of ARMLS. And that was, in the grand scheme of things, a good month, but it's pretty similar to what we've had in years past. Sarah? New residential listings. So again, this graph here, this shows that even with sellers not knowing where they're going to be moving to, there's post-possession, there's different mindset strategies out there that help. And so with that, we have gone from a low at Christmas at 6,693 number of active listings, and ladies and gentlemen, just under 4,000, 3,600 more homes new listing in the month of March. That's a significant number. Our run rate is back up. It's back up close to the norm. It is our season, and as we go all the way through the balance of summer, I'm hoping that we continue with the number of new listings high 10,000, if not higher. Sarah? Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, I know we started just a little bit late, and Sarah, please know I've had challenges like this, so all good here. Getting this information out, starting from A to T, Apache Junction all the way to Tolleson, is the individual city that is made up of the local numbers, 2 or 3 zip codes. Phoenix has multiple zip codes, so you can even drill down deeper into that, into the market of the moment. And as you get slowly, I'll let you blend through all these, Sarah, but when you get to the last one of these dials, you're going to end in a town called Kearney, Kearny. I put that at the very, very last. My hometown in Nebraska is Kearney, Kearney. And even the ripple effect is getting all the way out to that type of market as we come turn right here. So as we get here, ladies and gentlemen, active listings are down 60%, sold listings up 400%. Ladies and gentlemen, they had 1 in March of 2021, and now they have 5. But people, that phrase, people drive until they can buy. I sold 1 home in March. I sold 5 homes this past March. The biggest thing here, even in this price per square foot's up 46%. It's only $112 a square foot, but that is the market of the moment. And that ripple effect continues to launch and go past Metro Phoenix out to the edges of Maricopa County and beyond. Sarah, I just wanted to touch on this. There's like 4 or 5 slides. Picasso is a kind of a timeshare on steroids. They have entered our marketplace. They have a brokerage now. There's some insights on that. They stay in the luxury world. So if any of your audience is interested in that, the next 4 slides just have some bullet points of their marketing and how to potentially get involved with that. Sarah, next couple slides, please keep going. And this is more of an information piece here. Keep going. And Picasso playbooks. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end today right here with this slide. And I've shared this once before, but just go back to not that long ago, just over 10 years ago to 2011, that 75-ish, 77% of our homes were under 200 grand. And as you jump all the way to 2021, that has whittled down to somewhere in the 7-8% range. It's not much. That is illustrating how our market has transitioned. Rare air used to be, rare air meaning high priced homes in the top 10%, used to be 525, then soon after 625. It's even higher now that an $800,000 home isn't unreasonable anywhere. And the average cost of a home now in Scottsdale, I think, is like $1,013,000. Just it is our market of the moment, and our strategy to work into that changes. As you work into that, having great communication, a lot of cooperation is needed, a lot of flexibility, and you need your partners, your lender partners to understand what's happening with interest rates, and mission critical vital is your title partners like Landmark, who always do a great job. And I just want to say thank you for today, Sarah, and hope this is helpful to your audience, and we'll keep moving ahead this time next month. Okay.
Thank you so much, Scott. That was great. Once again, sorry for the technical difficulties, but we've been doing Zoom for a couple of years now. So if it can go wrong, it will go wrong on Zoom. You did an amazing job, Scott. As always, the recording and all of the slides are available. So please reach out to your business development managers. They are the ones who have first access to all of this information. We also create market snapshots from some of the statistics that we go over in here. These are absolutely beautiful. They are designed, they are branded to you. So if you want a copy of those, please reach out to our business development managers. And Scott, we'll see you again next month.
Thank you, Sarah. Have a good day out there, everybody.